you doing, everybody? Came back again, didn't you? I sure appreciate it. You know, guys got to have something to do besides work. Work. Play the music and drink beer. You guys keep me out of trouble. So, it's Friday night. The little one's over at Grandma's and the wife's out doing something, so spent a couple hours here in the barn trying to get something started. Got things cleaned up a little bit. Want to get a peek at this motor, start getting an idea of what we got going on here. Probably first thing I'm going to do is drain that oil pan that hopefully has nothing in it. Maybe Ralph Sr. filled it up to here. Don't know. So let's find out. I've been squirting PB Blaster down the cylinder, so I'm really hoping it's already kind of leaked down and that's all that comes out. I need to flip it upside down and blow the valves out and all that, and I don't want all that PB Blaster going inside the valves and kind of getting on the solids and gooing it up and making it a lot harder to clean. But it's I don't know. Get you set up and I'll show you what comes out. Alright, well, got the big 3/4 on there. Got us a pan down here. I didn't break that loose. And it's probably a good thing they didn't pull the oil in it and try to run it. That some gun fell out. Let's see what's come out here. Hopefully it's red colored PB Blaster and not water. It appears to be red colored PB Blaster. You guys can see that kind of. Yeah, PB Blaster. That's good. No kind of water, no mouse pee, you know. Let that drain a little bit. And I'll look inside those cylinders and make sure they've dried up a little bit. If not, I'll have to try to swab them out. Alright, I'll get back with you. Well, got the pan off of her. Kind of see little chunky poo or two. Doesn't look like anything horrible, but that's kind of why I wanted to get the pan off, get a look at everything, and you know, see what was in there rather than put the engine in the car and then go, uh-oh, pull it all back out again. So I'll wipe some things down, get her flipped upside down. Well, new pistons. It's kind of hard to see with the camera. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. There is cross hatching in those cylinders. So this is a rebuilt engine. The cam looks good. I was afraid all that would be all rusty. It's got some gunk on it. You know, there's a little bit of moisture in here, but not horrible. Looks like everything that's on that cam will wipe off, so I'll go through, wipe it off best I can, rotate it while I clean my valves and my valve passages, keep that wiped down. Of course, we'll put some break-in lube on all that, you know, lube up the piston pins and all this stuff. Just a couple little things. See that right there? That rod bolt is supposed to have, where's that on it. So they broke that off and didn't bother. They kind of, I don't know, maybe tried, but the two sides there, I'm going to bend those up just to make sure that rod bolt doesn't loosen up. Other than that, it's really pretty decent. Big mud daubers in a dipstick tube. So just the way it is here, go from here and knock it out, clean it out. So I can blow all the passages out, clean everything up. Good deal. All right. All I got to do now, really, Of course, I forgot to make sure my cylinders were dry. Flipped it up, and now I gotta try to blow all that stuff out. So probably what I'll do is, you know, use compressed air through the spark plug hole and try to blow the stuff away, you know, down and out. Since it can't go up, at least fall down, you know, down, 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 down. All right, I'll get back with you. All right, I'm gonna show you guys something just real quick. Had it rolled over, blowing air through them, getting a piece of wire hanger in there, cleaning these ports out, right? Got them all cleaned out, think we're good. Well, I noticed as I was rotating it over, blowing air, I'd had like, I think, one cylinder that felt like it would get compression. Then I noticed that not all the valves were moving. I found out by doing this. Roll them over, where the cams are on the bottom of the lobes for each cylinder, compression stroke, top dead center, both valves should be closed. I'm pretty sure these are hard tappets or you know, solid tappets, so I should be able to spin the push rods. Well, these two cylinders, I couldn't. The reason why was the springs weren't strong enough to push the lifters back down that were stuck in their bores. They weren't stuck, they were stiff. So how I figured that out, I should be able to blow air into the spark plug hole. These valves should be closed. We shouldn't get too much air out of our intake and exhaust port. And you see, now we don't. Now once I tap these down a little bit, and I could roll these, then I did this. Brass hammer right on top of the rockers, on top of the valves. Because once I had those seated, they still had enough junk in there and all that stuff that, you know, doing that kind of blowed that stuff out. I've got all of them sealing, all of them rotating enough that when it fires, of course, those valves are going to clean up. I don't think we're going to have to pull the cylinder head off of this. What I'll do though is, before I'm all done, of course, I'm going to lube the lifters and everything I can get to best I can. I'll take these covers off if I have to, get some oil on them, work this thing back and forth, make sure that it's nice and free and everything's nice. So I think we're going to be in good shape with a little bit of effort, a little bit of cleaning. You know, it's part of the deal. We've got to, I don't know, how much does it cost to overhaul one of these? Beats me. I know it costs me a lot of time and I don't want to do it. So, but I want to make sure it's good for old Ralph. Anyways, it's getting cold. You can tell by my funky looking screen, about 32 degrees, it starts looking funny. So I'm going to call it for tonight. And I'll be back out here in the morning. We'll finish up on this a little bit, move on to the next project. We'll see. I do have a bunch of gaskets for this, so but I'm going to spend some time lubing and letting it soak before I go putting it back together. All right. I'll see you guys in the morning. Okay. Late afternoon. Whatever. Go on. Go that way.
Let's walk on the car.
Yeah. Keep going. Keep going. In there.
Is this our mat?
Yeah, that's your step. Step up. Step. Keep going. Keep going. All right. Turn around and tell everybody hi.
Hi.
All right.
Whoa. Daddy, well, that's bigger room.
Yeah.
It's empty.
It is, isn't it?
Let's look up here.
Yeah. We gotta do some rearranging in here too.
Yeah.
All right, come on.
Okay, let's go. Okay. Oh no, I'm scared.
Hold on a second.
Okay, shut the camera right there. Now let's get moving.
You gonna sit there?
Yeah.
You don't want to sit up front?
No. Yes, I want to sit up front with my dad.
All right. We're doing some amazing camera work here.
Ow! I'm scared.
I'm scared.
Kinda. I'm only just 5. But I'm gonna be 6 soon.
Yeah.
I'm going to check you. No, I'm
A
going
lot of keys. You got a lot of keys here.
Yeah. I got 2 keys only. 2.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Alright. Hold on a second. You gotta get the fuel going. There it is, it's running. Fired right up, didn't it? Brake lights on because I think the hydro boost is bypassing pressure. Oil pressure,
Ow!
really good. And charging, not so much. Alright.
Let's go!
Hold on. I'm gonna leave it right here.
We're done!
I'm gonna let it run.
Okay.
Set the parking brake. Alrighty. What do you think?
Yeah.
You like it? Alright, tell everybody bye and we're gonna get to work.
Bye.
Well, you know, that's my little helper. Pride and joy, pain in the butt all at the same time. You can definitely tell who the daddy is. Anyhow, she had a ball. That's what life's about right there. That's the reason I got that camper. So, to kind of go on, and I emptied that camper out. I got all kind of stuff in the back of it, and I didn't know what I had till today. I mean, there's that. There's that. There's all this. That's an extra toilet. It's a brand new toilet for a camper, just like that one. Huh. There's that. I don't know what that goes to. There's this. There's these things. I don't know. And these things, I don't know what they do either. There's some more of this. You know. There's some aluminum jobbies. You know. So here I am trying to figure out the bed slider, bed flippy thing. I don't know. Turns out there's been some modifications to the motorhome that this doesn't quite fit now. So, but let's start with this. We got wide white stripe, less wide black stripe, red stripe, blue stripe, chrome stripe, you know, tire gauge, lug nut cover jobbies, some wiring harnesses, and you know, I mean, who wouldn't want that? Look at that. You know, there's the autopilot. That's a whole cruise control kit. There's a tripometer driving computer thing right there. It's all there. Tire pressure, couple different tire pressure monitor systems. You know, here's a third one. right here. Here's some tire sensors for that said stuff. The little light bulbs that go in the camper. There's a box of them. There's a battery isolator inverter type thing, which is probably, could be the reason it doesn't charge right. The camper, that is, because I need one of these. Well, if I do, I got one. You know, these little LED lights. You know, I mean, there's 1, 6, there's 6 of them. Seat belts. I imagine they came out of this camper. I'm just not sure where. I want to use them, so I got to figure out where. Fuel filter, you know, brake line, or airlines. There's, you know, I mean, golly. Then I find this. This is a nice little satchel thing. It comes with some sort of ice pack. I believe there's a pair of scissors in there, a tire gauge, wire ties, duct tape, and a Leatherman. I mean, you know, more paperwork, original owner's manual. Look at that. Just, and there's stuff I don't know. There's this thing. It's a portable water softener. How it works, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Some molding stuff. Some more molding stuff. A whole roll of it. And these tube things. These tube things go on the floor and they go on the bottom of that table. Oh, that's the original table. But in the floor there's carpet. There's no holes, so I don't know. You know. That's the problem we're having. Great big puzzle. Man, there's, you know, what was this for? I don't know. What was this for? There's an MG in here somewhere. Anyway, let me show you kind of where I'm at out here on this thing. Oh, I did find the original emblems that go right here, and they say powered by 7.4 liter. We're going to put those back on. You know, so this thing was on top of that thing, and the couchy bed thing used to be right here. So Ralph Sr. added these. They're super cool. It's not a family sort of thing. This thing he built. Those are the compartments that open from the outside, and you know, the cheesy one that he took off, he replaced it with this, which that's cool, but the dimensions are different than the thing that goes on top for the couchy thing. So I don't know. Hopefully Scuba Steve will show up and help me move these out of here. But in order to have room for these in the barn, I've got to put all that crap away. Pretty neat though, huh? I'll show you what I'm going to do back here, I believe. Is there a light? I think there's a light. Here somewhere. Okay, there we go. 2 twin beds with a little, you know, chest of drawers in the middle. That's cute and all, but you know, me and the wife like to snuggle when we're camping. So I'm probably going to remove that, build some bracing, take these mattresses and flip them this way, put them next to each other, and we still have a walkway, and then, you know, we can snuggle and cuddle and do our thing while we're camping. That's what we like to do. So I don't know. Let me see what I come up with. I'll put a bunch of stuff away. Make some room in the barn for these. These aren't cheap. You know, one's going in the house. and one's going back in here, hopefully. It's kind of the plan. Ah, jeez. Then there's some chairs out there. Can you see them? There's one. There's two of them. What am I going to do with those? I don't know. All right, I'll get back with you guys. Dang it. Well, here's what I come up with. A little, you know, we'll just, you know, I mean, there's this little, found out this little area here is where the table's supposed to go. I measured the table. It seemed like it was bigger than this area, but that's where the table's going to need to go when we're not using it. So if I have to chop her down, I'll chop her down. So there's that. You see, I made the brackets were gone on the pivots. So there's a little stud sticking out there. That's a great big like a farm gate hinge type thing, or barn door hinge. So I cut it down, drilled a hole, and went through the compartment side, which is this is what this box is that Ralph Sr. had built, and made it extra heavy duty. So I bolted it to that. Got our little storage compartment, original 1984 Sony subwoofer speakers. You know, and I finally figured out this whole mechanism in here. So here's how it goes. Pull her up. It rotates. Put her on down. That's a bed. Pretty nifty, huh? Now I've been doing some trim work. We have a heater, furnace vents right here. I believe it actually came out underneath here because there was a hole, and you can see I made a patch. So I'm gonna glue some carpet on that and make that look nice. So you know, we're all a little bit different. So this box here is a little bit taller than the factory than this is. So for that, well, if I can get, there we go, that put back, you see that I've got to shim it up. So I've got a couple other pieces to put on the end so it's nice and solid, because it's wanting to twist that whole cabinet. So there's a piece of trim that goes here that's supposed to go on top of that, that's taller, so it's not the same, but I'll show you what I'm doing in there. It's nasty out today. I had like 3 inches of snow overnight in the middle of March. What the heck's up with that? It's about half melted now. I about didn't come out here at all, you know. But so anyhow, I had to cut these off. These are upside down, and this is the side that you see matches the 1984 decor. So cut and peeled back the covering, cut the aluminum. That way I can put this back on. I've got it some 3M gooey, you know, interior sticky stuff, and I'll fold that back on, and then I'll put these where they go, screw them down, and it'll look a whole lot nicer. Be almost factory for 1984. I'll get back to you. Well, how's that? And of course, this is a little bit short on the end because all this is a little bit higher, but you know, we're not doing a Airstream restoration. A little bit of refurb and put it back to kind of what it looked like in 1984ish. You know, so that's some stainless steel screws holding it all together. Well, let's see if I can do this with one hand. Get this thing, you got to flip the back up to get it up higher. There we go. Of course, when you walk in, Like I said, I'll get the carpet trim underneath there. The little shims I've got in there, I'll use some dark wood stain just to make them kind of, you know, camouflage them a little bit. I think it looks pretty good. I got a little cubby hole. There's a piece of doodad in there. A little cubby hole to stash stuff if you want. You know. I'm wore out. It's pretty comfortable. The back of your legs, with your feet, my feet flat, so it's just the, you know, the height is just right. It'll be cool. What I'd like to find is a couple custom van captain's chairs that swivel and do the seat belts over there, so people riding have to ride over there. You know, I don't know, we'll see how that goes. We'll figure something out. There's supposed to be holes in the floor for the table. The manual gives you dimensions. Of course, this isn't exactly where it was, but it does measure from 10 inches from that step back. So I might have to get underneath it and look up and see them and maybe poke something through so I can tell where to cut the carpet. Hopefully it's all still in there. But for now, we're gonna, you know, I told you about me and the wife like to snuggle. I'm gonna get this switched around. Give me a few, we'll see where we're at. I gotta take that thing out of the middle. Well, it's cold again. You can tell by the way it is. Anyway, so I know the beds will fit this way next to each other with maybe that much room. So I may go on back to here, remove these doors, save them for, and probably put another one here. Yeah, that way flippy, 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 and then we can have lots of room here to stick stuff. You know, like all your camp chairs, and I'd really like to measure our bag that has our big canopy in it and see that it fits in there. If not, I've got to get rid of all of them, panel up this much, or I'd like to be able to go straight up back to the far as the bed, and we'll put some nice material or carpet or something on each end where it overhangs. Probably. Then I'll have to have some kind of this away to keep the beds pushed together. I could probably do that. Yeah, maybe so. It's going to take some thinking. I'll get back with you. See ya. Oh, I did get that thing out. I thought I'd get it out in one piece. It didn't quite happen. That thing barely fits through the hallway. It's like working on a little bitty house. Well, got a mess. This cutout here, this is what used to hinge and the beds used to lay on. I measured it out so that my new box that I built will just overlap it. And I'm working on a little upholstery work. I'll do the same on both sides. I need to do something in the middle because my bed will hinge on that. There'll be another one over there, so it goes up and down, so I need a filler blank back here, but we'll come up with something. Not sure yet. I might upholstery it and then a piece of plywood and screw it on, so that way we can get back here to get stuff if we have to. Pull a couple screws, you know, somebody drops a Barbie back here or something. But yeah, hopefully this whole bed will come up to about here, with some assisted hydraulic shocks, or maybe an air shock, or it'll just be heavy, you know, and we'll use a stick. Either way, got your fresh water tank, got your cubby that the generator, which goes in from the outside, goes. So there's a little spot back there, there's a little bit of spot right there, so there isn't really a whole lot of storage in these parts. I just want to be able to use this for storage, you know. Alright, somebody's calling me. Well, looks pretty nice to me. I mean, you know, you can barely see their screws in there. See right there? I was going to get the big ones with the washers, you know, and screw them. They don't really, it's really isn't doing much. It's just a filler panel. You know, you can throw your cell phone, your purse, or wallet and keys back there somewhere, and you know, you ain't got to worry about them. But I didn't want them moving around because the bed is actually going to sit right on top of the edge all the way around, so it's not going to move. But I wanted a couple screws in it just to keep it in place and to be able to remove it if I have to. Of course, here that will be bolted through here and through here. So, you know, you got to take those out if you really want to, you know, I don't know. To figure out there's some stuff under here I wasn't realizing, but that's alright. So anyway, let's get my two halves of the bed in here and get that put together and see what it looks like. This has been a lot of work. I'm going to get some filler panels depending on where the bed lands. At the end, I know there's a gap. Then I'll make some filler panels there. Probably do the same thing there. Cut me out a piece of, I got a nice piece of pine. I can cut a square hole in the middle of it. Use one of the doors that came off of here. It looks like that sort of. Those are screwed in somehow. They won't come out. And then I'll have a little wiki, and then stuff all our long stuff under there, flag poles or dead bodies. I don't know. Hopefully that's never going to happen. Okay. Anyway, I'll shut up. Well, so you can see right here, right there is where I had to cut it. I had it made as all one piece, and I had this sectioned up anyway, so I just took all the screws out and cut the end 1x4s, and I didn't want to do that, but I guess I mocked it up and put it together in the barn, took it apart and put it in here and put it together. It was the only way. It wasn't going to fit. Old Scuba Steve came by late last night and found out it wouldn't fit to the door of the camper, so we gave up, and I cut it apart today. Anyhow, it's pretty solid. It's going to have some bracing underneath. The first thing I'm going to do is get it centered in the hole and mount my hinges, so that way it's where it's going to be. Then I can tip it up, do my bracing. I've got there's a 1x4 under here and under here, so I want that to sit on something, you know, just to help it. And I'm probably going to have to shim here, because this is sitting on top of that luan with the carpet or the upholstery on it, so it's going to be kind of like this, you know, or kind of like this. So I want to shim that. But first thing first, get the hinges hooked up, and it's going to be where it's going to be. I might need to get some drink. A little wore out. Man, this will be nice though. I don't know. I was walking around on it. I don't know if I'd jump up and down, but if somebody, you know, wanting to get a little freaky in the bed, I think it'll withstand just about whatever as far as that goes. Okay, I'll be back. Well, there we go. Got her mounted in the back. Still need to trim through here, but all the trim around the back and everything looks pretty good. I got to put a thing in the back. Anyway, got this little deal made. Now I'm probably, so I got a piece of baseboard on here and probably what I'm going to do, I could stain it, but I may wrap that in the same material. Could wrap this frame in the same material if I wanted to, but I may stain that. But anyway, you got our little cubby hole. We put all kind of camp chairs and long funny things that are hard to store. I should be able to pick this up. It's not that heavy, but one-handed just kind of. Okay, there we go. So lots of storage room. Now I've just got to mount that in permanently. It's just sitting there. And I think it's moved a little bit, so give me a second. we go. There. Not too bad. Fits pretty tight. I kind of wanted it to so it wouldn't rattle around while you're driving and doing whatnots on the bed. Alright. Now I'll tell you guys something. It's been kind of a couple weeks trying to get all this stuff, you know, so much of the interior stuff I'll show you what I got going on. Just want it to be nice enough I can figure out what brake parts I'm needing and start doing all that, because, well, I don't have a barn that big for a 32-foot motorhome. I'd like to, maybe someday. So anyhow, I guess tomorrow I'm going to go to a memorial service, and I'm going to dedicate this video and probably every other video I make to Raymond Jones. Ray was a cool kid, 15 years old, and he sure left us way sooner than he should have. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'll get all choked up. Anyway, my buddy Alvin and Shannon, your mom and dad's, and your whole family, just let you know I love you, okay? And I hope things get easier as every day goes by. Mike loves you guys. Anyway, so thanks for coming and hanging out. I'm glad you did. I like you guys liking and commenting and making fun of me. That gives me something to do. I got enough, but it's something fun to do. Well, I got a big mess to clean up. You know. Looks like a hoarder's motorhome, doesn't it? Alright. Like I said, thanks everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.